Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Mario Cristobal, the Miami Hurricanes kicking off spring practice Monday. Not only is spring practice coming back, we also have the recruiting visit starting to ramp up. And Mario Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes wasting no time getting some really impressive names to campus on Monday to take in the spring practice. We want to talk about a few new names that have popped up for the Miami Hurricanes. Before we get into it, as always, the Miami fans, we're back. We got spring practice kicking off. The recruiting trail going to get really exciting over the next couple of weeks and months. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. Many of the Miami fans, have been rocking with the boys in January and February. It's about to get real fun. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Without further ado, let's focus on some of these new names on campus. And I want to start with the number one wide receiver in the country, Tristan Keys from Mississippi. Now, Miami's going to be a player in both the recruitment of Tristan Keys, it sounds like, but also a guy like Chris Henry from California playing up there at Mater Dei. Miami's going to go big game hunting. Tristan Keys is a football player that will certainly come with a price tag, and I am completely okay with the Miami Hurricanes paying for him because he's a box checker. There is not a thing that Tristan Keys does not do at a very high level, and that's something rare. And we talk about a lot where there's a lot of impressive wide receivers that come out every year out of high school. There are a lot of wide receivers that aren't that complete. They're either really big bodies or track and field guys that are really, really fast. You don't see a lot of wide receivers blend all of those attributes together. Tristan Keys is one of those guys. 6'2 and a half, 180 pounds. The first thing that pops is, how fluid and coordinated he is. He's not just this big, long, fast wide receiver. Like when that football is in the air, the body control that he goes up with is impressive. He can create separate. He's a phenomenal route runner as well, especially for that size. He's good after the catch. There's no crazy 100-meter track and field times, but it does not take you very long to watch the film of Tristan Keys and say the long speed certainly is not a concern for this kid. And this is something that, when I'm kind of putting this board together for the Miami Hurricanes, I would like to see them capitalize on all the momentum they had in the 2024 year, specifically on the offensive side of the football. This is kind of a wild stat. The last wide receiver, now this is going to change with a guy like Xavier Restrepo, the last wide receiver that Miami had selected in the NFL draft, I believe, was KJ Osborne. And he was a transfer. And so you look at Miami at the wide receiver position, it has certainly been probably something to be a little bit more desired. Can Miami kind of flip the script? With the number one passing attack that Miami had in the 2024 year, can that be something that starts attracting some elite wide receiver talent to this program? Is something I think a lot of Miami Hurricane fans are excited for. And Tristan Keys, he'd be one of those guys. We'll see how the wide receiver board shakes out for Miami. Tristan, look, I ain't saying nothing anything breaking news here. Tristan Keys is that guy, and it's exciting to see Miami kind of throw their hat into the mix with a guy like Tristan Keys. Next name I want to talk about, kind of a new name that was added to Miami's board. Dorian Barney committed to Alabama over the summer, backed off his commitment, I believe, in November, and Miami just offered him, and I believe in February. He's going to be on campus to take in the spring practice. Does this result in an official visit in the summer? That's probably something we'll find out. Dorian Barney, box checker at the cornerback spot. He's a ball hawk. That's the thing that first pops out, is he is just always seems to be in the right place at the right time to go make plays and go turn the football over. And obviously Miami is looking to replenish those young defensive backs. Miami fixed the problem right now, going to the transfer portal and landing all the defensive backs they did. You don't want to be in that position every year if you're Miami, right? Where you need to go out and land 4 or 5 guys in the defensive backfield. You want to get that pipeline out of the high school ranks. Thought they brought in a really good class of cornerbacks and defensive backs in the 2025 cycle. Let's go stack another class in 2026. Dorian Barney is that guy. Now, he's going to be no doubt tough to get out of the state of Georgia, but it's nice to see. And this is something we always talk about with Mario Cristobal and how he goes about recruiting. And that is, we are going to get as many swords in the fire as we can. I don't know if that is the best way of saying it, but Mario Cristobal is going to cast a wide net, and he's going to build relationships with a lot of football players across the country. And guess what? Things change over the next 8 months. And come signing day in December, there might be some new coaches in. Having these relationships that you are building in the spring and summer months, it matters. You talk about why Mario Cristobal closes out recruiting classes so well. It starts in the months of March and April. Going to another name that's already committed to Miami and Jordan Campbell, but this is huge to get him back on campus, and you want to get him back on campus as many times as possible. These programs across the country are not going to give up on Jordan Campbell, and rightfully so. He's one of the best linebackers in this 2026 cycle, specifically for Miami. Look, we got a new defensive coaching staff coming in, a different coaching staff than the staff that Jordan Campbell committed to. And this is part of the benefit of having Mario Cristobal as a head coach, is even though you lose some of those position coaches, defensive coordinators, Jordan Campbell committed to Miami and he committed to Mario Cristobal. And so that helps kind of holding on to a commitment like Jordan Campbell, but you want to get him on campus. You want to have that relationship between him and Corey Heatherman, who's going to be coaching linebackers and the defensive coordinator. You want that relationship to be really strong. And Jordan Campbell, this is kind of falling in line with the new way of where Miami's going on the recruiting trail. And that is, hey, we need to get more athletic. We need to get faster on the defensive side of the football. Well, guess what? Jordan Campbell is that guy, 6'2", 200 plus, 11.2 in the 100-meter dash, which is an impressive number for a guy that big. He does everything. He'll play off-ball linebacker. He'll come off the edge. I don't think it's crazy because he looks like he's got some long arms. I don't think it's crazy to see him maybe transition to coming off the edge, but as of right now, off-ball linebacker, that is that new breed of what Miami's looking for at the off-ball linebacker position, and that is athleticism. And when I say athleticism, that does not just mean straight line speed. Yeah, speed matters, but we want guys who can operate in space and kind of match up on a tight end in man coverage, carry a tight end up the seam, go tackle running backs in the flat, make plays in space. Jordan Campbell is that kind of guy. Next name on the list, let's go to the offensive line. This might be the next commitment Miami gets. It sounds like it is full court press for Ben Congdon from Ohio. 6'7", wrestler, really good wrestler at that. That's my kind of guy. Now, he's a project. He's not going to be a guy that comes in and is a Francis Maui-Noah and starts as a true freshman. There are some things that need to be cleaned up, not only technically, but from a body standpoint too. 6'7", 270, he's a lean kid. But you are betting on a 6'7" frame with the wrestling background every single day of the week. And it's not only Alex Mirabal and Mario Cristobal going after this kid. His recruitment is picking up in a meaningful way over the last couple of weeks. Can he get this kid in the fold early? Would be really, really big for Miami. And he's a guy that it seems like Miami wants badly quickly. And so we'll see how that plays out. I'm excited to get into the film if he does commit to the Miami Hurricanes. Last one on the list that I want to point out is Javion Mallory. This is another, top target for me. If there were two targets, Miami wants to take two running backs in this 2026 class. It sounds like Derek Cooper and Javion Mallory are kind of the two guys, local guys from South Florida. I love Cooper. I mean, I think Cooper's probably my favorite running back in that 2026 class. And if Miami can lock up him, he's a 1,000-yard guy for multiple years for Miami. Now, Javion Mallory is no slouch. This is some Damian Martinez vibes when you check the film. And it's not only from a body type standpoint where he's listed at 5'11", 200 pounds. He looks bigger than 200 pounds and certainly runs bigger than 200 pounds. The reason I'm going with the Damian Martinez comp is that although Damian Martinez just ran, a 4.5 in the 40 at the combine, so maybe there's a little bit more juice in a straight line than I give Damian Martinez credit for. But where the Damian Martinez comp comes from is his ability to pick through traffic in a phone booth between the tackles is extremely impressive. Damian Martinez's ability not only to run really physically and just take on contact exceptionally well, which Javion Mallory certainly can, but also a guy that has really good feel for those condensed spaces. That's what stands out to me about Javen Malley. You wouldn't really assume he's an elite short area quicks guy because of the size. He certainly is. I would like this get for the Miami Hurricanes too. I mean, you come away with Javen Malley and Derek Cooper. That is a great haul for the Miami Hurricanes at the running back position. And again, to me, the narrative is, can we capitalize on all this momentum we saw in 2024, where you saw Cam Ward be the biggest name in all of college football, where you saw a ton of production on the offensive side of the football. Guess what? These kids at the high school ranks, yeah, NIL matters, but they're also looking at this offense under Shannon Dawson and saying that this is an offense where I can come in and we can put up some serious production and some serious points. It's no surprise teams like Ohio State recruit, running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers the way they do, because they got a long track record of not only developing those guys, but having an offense where you can come and produce. I'm a Michigan fan. Why does Michigan have so much trouble getting wide receivers to come? Because we don't have that passing offense that is really attractive. Miami just showed that in 2024. I predict it to be very good in 2025 as well. Can we start using that momentum to get some of this offensive skill to Miami on the high school recruiting trail? That's what we'll see. We're so back. That's where I'll close it off. We'll certainly talk about what we hear, the early buzz coming out of spring practice. We will continue to talk about the targets that are emerging for Miami on the recruiting trail. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.